Trance and Prosper. Hi, this is Professor Brian David Phillips. Welcome again to Ghostbusters Really, Really International. And we're going to start right back where we stopped last time with our Game Master, with our Ghost Master, Kevin Dilmore. Take it away, Kevin.
Welcome back, friends, to round 2 of Welcome to Smith's Grove, a Ghostbusters International adventure that will be continued by 6 intrepid Ghostbusters that I will let introduce themselves, starting with Smooter.
Ow! Me.
Ross
Come back to
Smooter.
me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how does I sound?
A lot better. You have your Lobot headset in.
I do, sort of, halfway there. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is Ross Scooter.
No.
Ready to bust a ghost or two. Last week, I think I knocked down a few doors and I broke a few chairs, and this week, we're the same.
It could be more of the same. So, I'm Dr. Trapper.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trapper. I'm a Ghostbuster, and guys, I am kind of feeling a little bit under the weather. Got a head cold, so
I'm sorry.
I'm not too interactive today.
That's okay.
No sneezing on the camera.
That might happen.
I'm glad you're able to join us even at reduced capacity.
Yeah.
Darius Park.
I'm Darius Park, Master of Archaeology and Seduction.
Now make me a sandwich.
So, and Mr. Torrance.
Hi, I'm Tori Lulbert. I grew up in Nuffhead, Maine. I once played a game of chess. Once.
And Larry.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, I am Lawrence. Larry L. Lawrence is me, a radio personality, awesome Ghostbuster, here to keep the guys in line because they don't know how to stay in line.
It's such a lie.
Yes.
Lucian.
Yeah, I'm the one that stopped you guys from doing stupid friends.
That is truthful.
I'm not sure if that's truthful. I do lots of stupid stuff.
Because they won't listen anyway, but I have to say it.
That transparency is appreciated at this stage of the adventure. This stage of the adventure, we are resuming in the Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where our intrepid Ghostbusters have already investigated the majority of the administrative areas of the sanitarium, and now are going to venture into what they can only assume would be the patient residential areas of the sanitarium, with the mission given to them by Dr. Loomis, not the director of the sanitarium, but one of the on-staff psychiatrists, who has asked their assistance in sealing what he believes is a rift between our world and a different dimension, one that could contain evil spirits or otherworldly beings, before the sanitarium is closed permanently. For those of you on the map, you will see that your characters have been relocated to the front lobby of the first floor where you initially entered the sanitarium. And before we start, we're going to do 2 things. Why don't you, just for fun, turn on your dice trays and roll for player initiative so we know who's going to start us off tonight. A 20-sided die would be terrific.
I'm last.
You didn't have a 2 on there?
Wow,
So
wow. You guys rolled really low, but I'm still last.
Luthien, you need to turn on the Owlbear Rodeo.
I'm trying to get to
Join us.
the Google page, but no. Where's the link?
It's in the chat on Facebook. The messenger.
Yeah, I have to log into my Facebook then.
Okay, or
You have your.
I sent it to you
Discord
online.
chat.
Oh shoot, yeah, you're in a different.
Yeah, I'm using
Computer.
her computer. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the Discord chat.
It's also in the Discord chat.
Oh, okay. Discord
Okay,
chat.
go
where
to-
did I get it?
Go to Ghostbusters chat in our Discord, and it is the last link posted.
Discord chat. Ghostbusters chat.
I got.
The last
It's
one, I have to go all the way down. Okay. So I just copy this one.
Just click it; it'll open in a link.
I've lost control.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Yay. Now roll a 20-sided die and roll a 1.
Is a 1 a ghost or is a 20 a ghost?
20.
Technically,
I think
neither.
Lost.
20 would be a ghost on the 20-sided
Although-
die.
I think, hilariously enough, 6 should be the ghost.
10.
I do think a 6 actually should be a ghost. So that's a good call. All right. We have now. What I'm going to do is one by one. We'll start with Larry. I have you listed as carrying a proton pack, a ghost trap, and ecto goggles. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you want to trade anything before you move on?
I want to switch out the ecto goggles for an
Yes.
additional ghost trap.
Okay.
I don't need to see them,
Wonderful.
but I do need to trap them.
Yes. Okay. Luthien, I have you as carrying a proton pack, a proton pistol, ecto
Yes.
goggles, and a cud meter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I gave the proton pistol to someone.
You know, I think you did. I think you gave the proton pistol to Dr. Loomis.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we have one more person carrying weapons. Huh?
Yes.
Or killing us.
Yeah.
Okay. That's terrific. Tori, I have you listed as carrying a proton pack, a ghost trap, and ecto goggles. Is that correct?
Yeah and yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
want to trade for anything else?
Good.
I mean, it's not that you can't. It's not that you can't during the course of the game. I mean, I'm just asking now.
I'm good.
Okay. Smooter, I have you down as carrying a proton pack, a ghost trap, and a pack of flares. Correct? Now,
Yeah.
I know that a second pack of flares was distributed among the group, and each of you have one, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Trapper, I have you down as having your drone, the proton pack, and a ghost trap. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You want to change anything out?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Darius, I
Hey,
have
you didn't ask me if I wanted to change anything out.
No, you're right, I didn't. Do you?
Oh, robot.
Well, you know what? No, I don't.
Okay, that's great.
But thank you for asking.
You're quite welcome. Luthien. No, not Luthien. Darius. I have you down as carrying a proton pistol, a gas mask, a enhanced PKE meter, and a med kit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you want to change anything?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. All right.
Is that the PKE taser? that he's
Yes.
Yeah, I have the PKE
Yes.
taser.
It is. So, okay. Where we're at on the map, you have, you can see that you investigated. Remember that north points in the direction that you can read the letters. So you have investigated the west corridor and rooms. The rooms that you, basically 2 rooms and the staircase that goes up and down. You have not investigated the east corridor, which, given the position that you're in, you now can see. There are doorways along both sides of the corridor at various spots, some of which you can see and some of which you can't because of the way the map or the graphic was locking into my fog of war stuff. Larry, you have initiative. What do you want to do? Oh, there's also a double door basically dead ahead of Tori, facing north.
Oh, that's a double door?
Yes.
What's behind that double door? I will ask.
You gonna open it?
Dr. Loomis, can you tell me what's behind this double door?
Oh, well, yeah, I can. If you hold, please.
Give you a moment for your brain to come into gear.
I thought I had my. I thought it was on the right page, and I'm not.
We're physically in the same room, and this guy says,
yes.
"Hold, please."
Hold.
Dr.
Dr. Loomis says.
Exactly is behind that door.
He says, actually, that's just the cafeteria. If anybody's hungry, we can head in there and see if there's anything left from the evening meal.
Okay, may I ask which direction is the patient's?
We have patient facilities on the first floor, and our patient dormitories are in the east and west wings, extending from the main corridor.
Okay, so if I go down this hallway to those doors, that'll take me to the patients?
Patients are in various places. It's evening time. Most of them are in their rooms for the night. Some of them may be in some of the common areas. Which direction are you wanting to go down?
Okay,
Larry,
I'll open the double doors.
You want to open the double doors?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That will give you a look into the cafeteria. You would see, hang on just a second, I've got my, there is an orderly who is not intentionally oversized.
It's a gland thing.
Yes. He is having a snack. Instead of sitting at one of the dining tables, he is eating directly from a serving dish on the buffet. not terribly mannerly, but
He's creepy.
Is well, he's not the most civilized.
Health and
of
safety code,
orderlies.
dude. Health and safety codes.
These are leftovers. I can do what I want. And as you look a little closer, Larry, you see he's just spooning out of a serving tray of little smokies in what you would imagine is barbecue sauce.
That doesn't make it better, dude.
Luthien, are you wanting to follow Larry into the into the cafeteria area, or are you wanting to
Sure.
go? Okay. So you can go on in. Those doors are open.
Okay.
So, the layout, furnishings, and atmosphere of the cafeteria are relatively upgraded compared to some of the stuff that you've seen, like older furniture and stuff that you saw. Upstairs, there are tables large enough for a single occupant or several. You can see there also in the western side of the room is a family-style table that would be large enough to accommodate half a dozen people or so. Tori?
Yeah.
Are you wanting to go in, or are you wanting to venture into a different area?
I think I'll go in and ask the guy with the weenies if he seen any ghosts lately.
Lately? Not lately. It's no secret among staff who've been here a while that there's some weird stuff that goes on around here. I haven't been, I've only worked here for about 4 years, so I wasn't, I haven't witnessed anything that, the rumor mills have led me to believe happened, quite a while ago.
Have you heard any rumors of anything recently?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, noises, things that go bump in the night. As you can imagine, the residents who inform us of these things, shall we say, are not the most reliable narrators of their own realities.
If we wanted to check into their unreality, which direction would we go?
We have patients on the East Wing and the West Wing, and is Dr. Loomis still with you, or do you need me to escort you too?
He's right there.
He's right there.
Right there.
Outside.
Well, you can't see Loomis. He's, from where he's at.
You can't see right through the doors?
You cannot see through the doors. They're swinging
Open
doors. They're swinging doors.
Okay, they're swinging doors.
They're swung shut.
Oh.
That sounds very
I thought you
convenient.
were open.
Well, it's a cafeteria, you're not going to have the doors just wide open. Smooter, what are you wanting to do?
I would like to investigate the little blackened area over there by the letter E.
The blackened
Gigantic
area
floor.
by the letter E?
Well,
Yeah, at the bottom of the map. At the bottom of the map.
Yeah,
On the
okay.
left.
You can go down there.
I'm assuming there's a door down there, maybe.
There is a door down there.
Let's
There
go
is a
open
door
that so we can-
opposite. There is a door opposite the door, for the where you see the letter
Stairwell.
D.
Yeah.
Would you?
I
Would you
assume there
like?
might be.
Okay.
like
Do you
to
want?
move
Are you
on.
wanting to go down and open that door?
Yes. Let's go move the door up.
Okay.
It's me.
Oh, are you moving yourself?
I believe I did.
You
I can't really
did.
read the name, but it looked like me. Yay. Let's go
So-
in and see what we got.
Well, you can go in.
there's an app.
and are you going to go in and look around to the corner?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you go in and look around the corner, and you see it is just another stairwell.
To go up or
Going
down?
down or up?
Oh.
That stairwell goes down.
Ooh, stairs that go down. I think I'll let everyone know I found some stairs that go down.
Okay. So you can go out, and Dr. Trapper, your drone is functional, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not running now.
Well, no, but I mean, it's not broken.
No, it's not broken.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That'll
I didn't get a hold of it.
only take a 6 or 2, so go ahead.
I just want to go down the hallway to the next door and see what's down there.
Sure.
Open it up.
That sounds great. You go to, and are you going to open the door and look in, or are you going to enter the room?
I'm gonna enter.
Okay. That is an office that is furnished in a simpler manner than you've seen elsewhere in the sanitarium, with plain desks. There is a partition to offer a semblance of privacy, and then you see a table that's got food left on it from probably tonight's dinner.
Oh, okay. I just search to see if I find anything interesting.
Okay, are you so you're just doing a visual search?
Yeah.
Nothing that nothing that would, I mean, it looks like an office that is used temporarily. It's not like an office that a doctor would have but like if family came in for meetings or one-on-one meetings with patients or things like that.
Okay.
So, and there is also, I'm sorry, Tori, by you in the cafeteria is a closed door. I forgot to describe that. I don't know if you see it on the...
I do.
Okay. So, I mean, for people who are in there. Darius, anything you'd like to do?
I'm just going to go explore this black area to the right, across
Okay.
from where Trapper is. Is there a door there?
Okay. Dr. Loomis is going to walk with you and then tell you as you go in that this is the common room for the whoa.
Is that the patient common room
folk?
then?
Yeah, hang on just a second. For whatever reason, I lost my map. Yes, it is a common room for the patients. Man, I'm having some weirdness with my browser.
We're seeing it okay.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, good. So you can. So he will take you in. But actually,
through here.
well, yeah. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong. I hit the wrong thing first. You'll go up the hallway,
okay.
and you see what I did? I just hit the wrong button. And down into this area. It is vacant. It looks like that it needs to be kind of tidied up, like the night staff hasn't gotten to it yet because it's late enough in the evening. But chairs, sofas, tables, furnishings, clean but shows signs of heavy wear. But given the time of the evening that it is, so, and there's also actually the other entrance to it was kind of between A and B, so there are two entrances and exits from that.
Did you say it shows signs of hey beware?
Of what?
Hey, beware.
No, heavyware. This is probably the place where the least expensive or oldest furnishings, because they're going to be, less than cared for.
Thus, it's the employee lounge.
Yeah, well, no, this is the patient lounge. This is for people who are able to leave their rooms, and it's just a common room. It's got a TV in it. Kind of a thing. So.
Okay. Is the receptionist still there? What's her name again?
No. It's her shift is over, and she's gone for the night.
And the K stairs are going up, I assume? Those are going up to the second floor.
The K stairs do go up, yes.
Okay. All right. So. I just like
so
to come back
bring us back to Larry.
Okay. I kind of wanted to see what's inside this room that I assume is a toilet, but I don't know.
Which, that room there?
It's the only black spot on the map.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a food preparation area.
Ah, they have no toilet near the cafeteria. That's not good planning.
Well, I mean, this is an older facility.
Okay.
And generally the patients are going to use shared facilities in their near their living space.
Okay, I'm gonna leave gross, disgusting guy and join up with these folks.
Okay, you're gonna go
one black area.
Oh, you want to go to that door there?
Okay. So we're leaving the cafeteria.
Well, Larry left the cafeteria. If anybody wants to follow him, the orderly is going to continue
being gross,
gorging himself on Little Smokies.
Smoky.
But Little Smokies.
Yeah, he's smoking that sausage.
Smoky.
Yeah, everybody can follow Larry out if you want to. Larry, are you going to open the?
If I can open it, I'll open it. Yes.
You can't. You can open it.
Consider it opened.
It's an office. And that actually is bookshelves lining the walls, expansive mahogany desk. The room is tasteful and elegant in comparison to the to other areas. And Dr. Loomis is going to come out because he hears you guys in there, and he will explain that's a receiving office. That's not. I mean, you went into Loomis's personal office when you went. Coming off the reception area, but that's just a more formal receiving office.
Okay, let's go find some patients and ghosts.
Cool. Loomis is standing near a double door that would lead to the east wing. If you would like to investigate that area. Actually, it'd be Luthien's call because it's her turn.
Okay. We'll open that door.
Okay.
Does it require a key on him?
Dr. Loomis is going to unlock those doors.
Yes.
That's the patient area.
And he will go in first. So you can see on the hold just a second. We've now entered the east wing. This is The doors open to a wide hallway that extends the length of the wing. A lush carpet runner bisects the floor. Doors are set periodically along both sides of the corridor. Strategically placed lamps or light fixtures in the walls ensure that that hallway is well lit at all times.
Okay, this is where the prisoners are kept.
Luthien, you can see that there are a door to the left and right of you, pretty much right where Dr. Loomis is standing. There are also doors across. I would say there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of doors that face each other on either side of the corridor. The end of the corridor, the corridor ends in a wall rather than a door.
The rooms all taken? I'm asking
I
Dr. Loomis.
mean, are you going to start knocking on doors? Are you asking Dr. Loomis?
Dr. Loomis.
Some rooms are occupied in this wing, others are not. Remember that we're in the process of bringing the population down in this area.
Can we check out one of the empty one and see the setup?
Like to see an empty room? Absolutely. Hang on just a second. This one right next to us is empty. So he will go in.
It's a 2-bedroom. 2 beds.
Well, yes. In fact, this room is what we call the red room for obvious reasons with the way the paint scheme is. Generally, this is reserved for family members. We are firm believers that in times of stress, that keeping families together is very important as far as the treatment of our, just treatments in times of crisis. You'll see that there's a pair of beds that would be good for smaller families or smaller kids. Against the north wall, there's an armoire and desk in opposite corners. This is not me talking. This is not Loomis talking. This is just me describing. The room is meticulously clean. You sense a faint odor of citrus cleaner in the air. The eastern wall has a still life of a vibrantly red poppy in a gilded frame. The bed on the left is made with geometric precision. The pillow's in exactly the right place. Corners perfectly creased. Folds almost mechanically precise. The bed on the right is a confused jumble of soiled sheets entwined on one another that almost resembles a nest.
So, the one on the right?
Yeah, the one closest to Dr. Loomis is clearly unkept.
So I take out my meter and check out the reading.
Oh, okay. We're scanning tonight. You're the first person that mentioned that. You are going to use your CUD meter because that's what you have, and you are sensing no indications that there is any type of warping or rending of the veil between your realm of reality and any other. Tori, what do you want to do?
Well, let us. Is there a door here? Let's see. That's the north side they're on, right?
It is.
South side.
Hey, I'm calling. I'm gonna yell at Tori. Use your meter.
I could use my goggles.
You can use your goggles. Are you wanting to enter the room opposite?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But you can go in if it's occupied. They're supposed to be sleeping at this hour, right?
So, well, yeah. So are you gonna? So, but you're just gonna like run into the room, heedless of all dangers, correct?
Yes.
So, are you listening?
Do that.
I'm saying,
Do it.
housekeeping.
Oh, nice. Okay. You get no answer.
Try the handle.
It opens freely.
I'll say again. Housekeeping. Anyone decent?
There's no one decent in this whole facility. The door opens smoothly on well-oiled hinges. You see a comfortable bed with heavy blankets and pillows. A walnut armoire rests against the southeast wall facing the bed. A potted plant occupies the northeastern corner. The only other piece of furniture is a matching, well-crafted utilitarian writing desk with paper and pens neatly arranged on it.
No one's in there.
No one's in there. Dr. Loomis is going to excuse himself from Luthien because he hears what's happening and is going to walk in. And what he will tell you is that, well, this is a room you can see is pretty Spartan in its layout. This is a room that our administrator insists us keeping as an example of the fine care and living conditions that patients enjoy in our facility. This room generally is unoccupied unless we are at capacity.
It's a model room more than anything.
Yeah.
Call it a model room, yes.
Wearing my. Do I notice anything odd in the room?
No, not with your ecto goggles, no. Ross, Smooter, what would you like to do?
So everyone's kind of left me on this end of the hallway and gone the opposite direction, right?
Everyone has gone through the doors to explore the
side.
east wing of the first floor.
But I am here on the other side, and there are stairs going down.
There are stairs going down.
So I want to split up from the group and go exploring downstairs. Or do I want to catch up to the group?
Do you?
Really?
I do.
You do. That's terrific. Okay. You go downstairs. Wait, just a second. I want to make sure I've got, again, do you have a proton pack, a trap, and some flare, and a whole pack of flares?
Yes.
I got flares.
You do. Okay, I'm going to move
I got
you.
flares.
I'm going to manhandle you for a moment. You have entered the basement of the sanitarium.
The basement? Oh.
You have entered.
Nothing
You have
scary in
entered.
the basement ever, right?
You have entered a basement chamber. Hold on a second.
Where's the basement?
To the right.
Oh.
And so this is a small waiting room of sorts. The only adornment in the room is a large chalkboard which would be on your left as you go down those stairs, covered in a small, neat script. On the board is a list of names, and next to each is a room number, a psychosis, and what you assume is a procedure scheduled for that patient. A battered table and chair sit on the northeastern corner. There are iron rings on the chair's arms and legs. It is securely bolted to the ground. And a hallway seems to lead to the east.
I will read the board.
The board
But how many
looks...
patients are there?
There are 11 patients listed on the board. Some of the writing is smudged. Some of the writing looks as if you were going to, well, I'm going to save you a roll, but that board actually looks like it has not been used in some time.
Oh.
It would not be a reliable, I would say it's not necessarily a reliable source of information.
Well, looking around, are you telling me it appears the only way forward is this little hallway at the end of? I can take a right hand turn on.
I would say that. Would you like to?
Let's go
Are you want to round the corner?
Let's round the corner.
Okay, you're going to round the corner and see that the hallway extends. There are 3 rooms, or I should say 3 doors, on what would be the right-hand side of the hallway. And I'm going to move to Dr. Trapper at this point. Dr. Trapper, do you have any ideas on what you would like to do?
Yeah, I come out of my room. I look to my right and see all these other people all the group looking at 4 rooms. I don't see.
Yes, those doors, the doors to the east,
yeah,
are open, and you can see that the team is kind of.
Yeah, they're looking at rooms, and I say, okay.
Yep.
I also remember Smoother said there was a going downstairs.
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna go that direction and
okay,
see if I can find Smoother.
Sounds great. You're gonna take your drone?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Okay, you would find you can make it down the hall. You can make it. You round the corner and can go down the stairs, and you end up at the stairs. And Smooter, did you go down the hallway?
I think I just stood there, and then you moved to someone else's turn.
Right. Okay.
Down the hallway,
Dr. Trapper has caught up with you.
Okay.
What would you like to do at this point, Dr. Trapper?
I will follow Smoother.
What you yelling at me for? I'm right here.
There are 3.
Oh, I bet he's hollow.
So, Dr. Trapper, you can see that there are 3 doors on the right side of that hallway in the basement. And
can I open them up? Can I open the first one?
Yes, that door is unlocked.
Okay, I go in. What's it? What is
Okay.
it?
Your eyes in that door to that room are immediately drawn to a crowd of crudely drawn silhouettes that surround an unoccupied cot. Each figure, and there are nearly a dozen, looms as if in anticipation over the cot. A threadbare, stained, and stiff sheet, the shades of adolescence, lies crumpled on the bed. The only other object in the room is an odorous privy in the southeast corner. Dr. Trapper, I would like you to roll a 10-sided die, please.
4.
Could have been 6.
Could have been a 6. Okay, that's nothing else happens in that room. Do you want to do some investigation?
Yes.
You're gonna stick your hands in the privy?
Yes.
You plunge your hands into the privy,
Really?
and
Yeah.
you feel within the black viscous liquid something that you want to pull out and look at.
Go. I'll pull out and look at it.
It is a serrated bone dagger.
Oh.
It looks as if someone has taken a bone and whittled it into a personal weapon.
Okay. Awesome. I keep it.
You can put that in
I
your
think you
pocket.
wash
Yeah.
it first.
Are you wanting to keep it in your pocket?
Because
Yeah,
it
sure.
smells
Why not?
bad.
Perfect. Nope, that's great. That's great. I just need to note that you have it.
I can
there
think
it
of
is.
12
Here's
reasons. No. Oh.
I come out this western door, and do I
Yes?
see Trapper heading down or not? Or
You do. You would, as you stepped out, you would see him disappearing around the corner to the staircase.
and I yell, "Trapper, where are you going?" And does he hear
He
me?
would, no, but no, he wouldn't have been. When he disappeared, the door would have been shut, and he would not have heard.
So I'm just going to go follow down and see where he
Terrific.
went.
Here, I'm gonna grab your figure.
Here.
So you go. There you go. You go down the staircase without incident, and you see Smooter in the hallway, and you don't see Trapper because he's in the room. What would you like to do?
I want to look in that room too, and you said that there's like all kinds of figures and stuff on the wall.
There is, yes.
And so when I look in the room and I see the figures, I try to decipher them or try to figure out what kind of story they tell.
It looks as if, well, I mean, given that your talent is what it is, I'm not going to make you roll because you're going to make your roll. It definitely looks as if someone who was in that room, whether in the throes of a psychosis or just creatively drawing, you can't tell. But it looks as if this person has drawn a dozen looming figures, as if these are creatures that are all black. There's no real details to their faces or even to their bodies, but as would either be stalking or guarding over someone asleep in the cot.
Mm-hmm. And does the PKE meter indicate anything or detect anything?
Oh, are you using a peak meter?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is terrific. Yeah, you're getting some slight readings in that room.
Were there any other readings along the way?
Nothing that indicates activity in the, but it is, you're getting just an ambient reading that feels higher than you've had in the facility so far.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe
And I'm going to end you guys there. This is convenient because, like, the 1, 2, 3 of you in your marching order are upstairs, and the 4, 5, 6 of you are downstairs. So this is you've made this accidentally easy to run. Larry.
Larry would very much like to open a door.
Heedless of all dangers?
Heedless of all dangers. What? I don't need to worry about danger.
Okay, so you are you entering that room that you are right next to the door?
You mean the one I just opened?
Yes.
And I look in before
Well, hang
entering.
on. need you to pause momentarily because I need to see if that door is locked.
No, it's not locked.
Pretty sure.
Trust me, it's not locked.
Possibly locked. Hang on.
It's not locked.
No. It is not locked.
There you go.
So,
So it's empty.
what you see is opening the door, you see a small bed in the far corner of the room. Opposite the bed is a writer's desk. And in the interior corner is a chest of drawers. The furniture is of excellent quality. An unframed portrait has been tacked to the wall. The walls are yellow, so you could refer to this as the yellow room. I forgot to mention, the bed is occupied.
Yeah, who's occupying the bed?
Well, I mean, are you going to wake him or her to discover that, or would you like to maybe consult Dr. Loomis?
Can
Would
I
you just walk
see
into a room?
If it's a
You
he
can't
or
go
a
in
she?
the room if it's occupied. That's rude.
Are you going to get close enough to determine? This is a sleeping figure.
You want me to go in there and get beat up, don't you?
No, I want you to exercise your free will to do whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna. Excuse me. Have you seen any ghosts here? Wake them up.
Could you please roll a 6-sided die?
There you go. I believe. What am I rolling? Because I didn't get a ghost.
You're gonna roll your cool.
Oh, my cool? Well, my cool's pretty high, you know, so.
Well.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I cleared it. So that was a 3, 6. So 9 plus 3 is 12.
That's fine. Yes. So the figure sits straight up out of bed and screams in terror.
But is it a male scream or a female scream or a scream in between?
I would say that it sounds high pitched for a male, but it is in fact a male. It is an older gentleman who is now trembling. He's got the sheets up over his mouth and is staring bug-eyed at you.
Okay. Excuse me, Bug Eyes. I didn't mean to alarm you. Have you seen any ghosts here? I'm an exterminator.
Are you a ghost? You're telling me you're a ghost?
No, I'm not. I'm looking for ghosts. Have you seen any?
In my room?
Sure.
Are you telling me there's a ghost in my room?
Sure. Where did you see it?
I haven't seen any ghosts in my room. There's never been a ghost come in my room. That's why I stay in this room.
Where did you see the ghost? Where do you see the ghost not in your room? Maybe I'll go there before it comes in here.
You don't want to go to the basement.
Okay. I don't want to go to the basement because there are ghosts there or because there are no ghosts there.
Help! There's a ghost in my room. Help!
Yeah, I'm really sorry about the ghost.
Dr. Loomis is going to leave this room and come in. Whoa! He did not grow in size yet.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she was talking to you.
So, oh my, Dr. Loomis.
Talking to Darius.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Hergus, Mr. Hergus, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you've been interrupted. Please, just don't mind us. This is my colleague, Larry. He doesn't mean you any harm. We're going to excuse ourselves. We're so sorry. Please, you know. And now you can see that Mr. Hergus is calming down, and Loomis kind of walks out backwards to assure him everything is okay, and then Loomis turns to you and says, I can tell you which rooms are occupied and which ones aren't, but I would ask that you please not charge right into our patients' rooms. It's very disturbing to them.
Yeah. I told you so. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Luthien, it's your turn.
Why don't you charge into this other room?
After you slap Larry.
No. I'm just saying, where are those three?
Where I don't know what you mean. Where
We
are
only
those?
have three people here. Okay.
But Tori's
Where did
in
they
Canada.
go?
If you're asking me, Dr. Loomis, where the rest of your team is, I truly don't know. I opened the door to the East Wing, and you were the ones who followed me in, and I don't know where everyone else is.
Okay, I just assumed they must have gone downstairs.
Nah, if they die, we'll feel a disturbance in the force.
I do not, yeah.
This
I
is
don't
my
know where they
theory.
are in the facility. I will tell you this, unless they forced their way in, they are not on the West Wing. The West Wing doors are locked, just as these wing doors were locked when we came in.
No. Why are the patients' door not locked? They are allowed to go out by them?
Well, I mean, Mr. Hergus's room was unlocked. Number one, because he has the authority over his own room. I mean, he can decide whether he locks his door or not. But we don't lock him in because he then wouldn't have access to the bathrooms or other hygiene, other facilities that he
So
he
these
might.
are patients with moderate conditions.
I would say that's true. I would say that these are patients that have been diagnosed with and their symptomatic exhibition is such that we believe that many of their personal needs they can take care of themselves. Mr. Hergus has been with us for some time. He has no family and is one of the last patients that we have considered for relocation because he's of minimal maintenance and I think could potentially suffer a setback in his treatment were he relocated to a place that is unfamiliar to him.
Okay, I guess, should we go find the others?
Sure, open up a couple more doors. We're going to find a ghost. We know the basement has ghosts because Hergus was very helpful.
Okay, are we going down to the basement?
There's another door right here. You could just walk in and see if anybody's in there.
No, you can't walk in if it's taken.
Well, open a door.
But are you addressing Dr. Loomis?
Nope.
Is there any other empty rooms we can check?
Are there other empty rooms on the East Wing? There are a couple of empty rooms on the East Wing. If you'd like to, take a look in them, sure.
Sure, we'll take a look at the empty rooms.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay, well, here, this room next to me is currently empty.
Except for the ghost.
As you look in, you can see that the furniture in it is trashed. And Dr. Loomis says this had been a common room for the oh wait, I'm sorry. This is a common room for the East Wing. It is currently not in use because of we had a couple of incidents in here that are certainly regrettable, and we would not want to have our patients in this currently in this room.
Oh, okay. Turn your meter on.
What? Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, the peak meter?
She's got a cut meter.
No, I have cut. I'm telling the others too.
You're right. The CUD meter is picking up no readings in that room. So, are you wanting
meter?
Okay, Pete, Tori, you haven't. You have initiative currently. What would you like to do in the East Wing if you're choosing to stay in the East Wing?
Tori, being definitely bored, says, I'm going to go see what happened to good old, what's his name? He's going to head down the hallway all the way to the staircase and down to the basement that he told us about.
Okay, so you are choosing to leave the party and follow Smooter.
Yes.
Okay. Is Larry and Luthien, you have the opportunity to follow Tori. Are you choosing to, or are you going to stay in the East Wing?
We should check all the rooms first. Larry has a meter. Why don't you take it out and just check?
Larry has no meter.
Oh, really?
No, I don't have a meter. So let's go back with the group. We'll follow Tori.
Okay.
Because otherwise...
Okay, before we do, I'll get my goggles on and check the whole area before we go down.
Check the whole area? I don't know what you mean.
Like the hallway. I just walk down the hallway and come back.
Okay, you can look up and down the hallway of the East Wing, and you see no activity through the goggles.
And this room too.
Which room? What letter?
The trash room.
This beat up trash room.
Yes. The ecto goggles are showing you no indication of current paranormal activity.
Okay, good. So no, not this room. This room is taken.
So Luthien, are you leaving the East Wing?
Yeah, we are leaving if there's
Okay.
nothing.
As you leave, Dr. Loomis relocks those doors.
Mm-hmm.
So we will continue downstairs. Loomis is going to follow you. Lorraine, if you want, we just cut here. Just cut across for game's sake. Is Tori and Larry, are your tokens in the basement?
Mine is.
Larry is not. I'm gonna move.
Perfect. Okay, great. So you have come down into the basement. You see. Here, I'm going to move. So you all come down. You meet Smooter in the hallway.
Hey, bud.
Okay.
Join the party.
And Tori,
Evidently.
it's still your initiative. It's still your role or your turn. So you go first. I'll assume that you guys take a quick debrief.
Yeah,
Because everybody can hear what
we didn't find anything upstairs, but we heard a patient mention basement.
Well, he specifically said the ghosts are in the basement.
Because you told him there are ghosts. Okay,
said
you're
what?
putting that in his mind.
No, I asked him,
So
where are the
He just
ghosts?
jumped to the conclusion that Must be in the basement.
And I am now in the basement, so good on me.
I'm confident that Mr. Hergus is a reliable narrator.
I'm
Thank you, Mr. Hergus.
totally sure he's totally reliable.
Totally.
Dory, there are 2 doors you can see down the corridor. As you walk, are you going to walk down the corridor to see that Darius and Trapper are in the room, and Trapper's hand smells worse than the room does?
Yes. The smell got to us, so we have to go check it out. Yep.
I am not checking out his hand. I don't care what she says.
I smell my hand. Anybody?
Yes,
So,
I'm
Dory,
going
what would you like to do?
to the next door, wherever that is.
Terrific. All right. Well, hang on. Let me. I wish that this module is locked or the PDF is locked, so I can't separate it into areas like I might have liked. Are you going to try the door to see if it opens?
Sure am.
It opens. The bed in this room is nothing more than a wooden board affixed to the wall with a privy in easy reach. Scratched into the wall next to the bed are hash marks.
Ah, somebody's
Anything odd?
counting the days.
Anything
Or
odd by looking
death.
through my goggles, getting extra sensory perceptiveness.
Are you stepping into the room?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Thank you. Do that.
So you step into the room, and your ecto goggles aren't revealing anything of note. Are you going
If I
to
look at-
Are you going to investigate the hash marks?
Yes.
There are 42 of them.
Oh, it could be 42 days. It could be 42 months, weeks. Never know.
It could be the
42,
answer to
15-year
the
period.
universal question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scan under the bed. Anything under the bed?
No. Would you like to reach your hand into the privy?
Oh, but
Do it.
Do
well,
it.
there.
Do it.
If it looks odd.
Yeah, that privy actually is empty. There is no liquid in it, and there's nothing of note in it.
Quick, use it.
Use the privy. Don't use your diaper like Larry does.
I haven't used my diaper in a while.
Not yet. Okay. Pete, I'm gonna call your turn done, and Smooter, you're in charge. What's your next
Hey,
move?
let's check out door number 3.
Door number 3. I'm just moving Loomis because I have to move my map a little bit. Okay.
Good move, me too.
Are you choosing to check the handle on door number 3?
Yes.
It opens.
Yeah. Let's go inside.
There's little to differentiate this room from the others that have been examined. A bed, a surprisingly clean sheet, a basket, and a small chair. Are you?
What's in the basket?
You've entered the room.
Yes.
What would you like to investigate?
Let's look at the basket.
In that kind of barrel thing next to the chair.
Hey,
Whatever the basket is, you said there was a basket.
it puts the lotion in the basket.
That is a basket. It's not a barrel. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna walk over to the basket.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you do a cool check real quick for me?
Okay, I have a pool of 27, I think.
You have a cool of 2. If you could roll a 6-sided die.
Close enough.
4 and one more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
7
You
total.
don't
4 to-
soil
4 to-
yourself when the door to the room slams shut and you are physically forced
Yes!
into sitting into the chair.
Oh, that's good.
So you are,
fuck.
and if you will allow me a moment,
Go
hang
ahead.
on just a second. For whatever reason, this map is like I try to like stretch it to do the things I want it to do, and it doesn't
The map?
cooperate.
Okay, your mouse wheel.
Yeah, I don't have a mouse. That's the problem. I've got a I've got a trackpad. It's okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to yell out, "Help! Help!"
I believe I can hear a manly help being yelled.
You would hear a manly help through that door, and you would also hear a voice that yells loudly, inhumanly, "What are you doing here?"
As I walk by the room, I'm going to tell Trapper and Darius, something's happening down the hall.
Oh well, it's still I'm still letting it's still Smooters.
Yeah, it's Smooter.
Oh man, this
He's
is
gonna
embarrassing.
shoot that thing in a manly way.
I will, surreptitiously, if I can, turn on my proton pack and answer his question, but I'm here to see Larry.
You're able to turn on your proton pack, but you roll your muscles.
What's my muscles?
Well, I mean, get rid of your clear your dice tray and roll 3 6-sided die.
Starts with a 1.
6 the first
A
time.
5. And a 2. 1,
Okay.
5, 2.
All right, you are barely able to twist the neutrona wand to activate your proton pack. You are unable to move. The ghost screams one more time. "What are you doing here?"
I'm here to see Larry! Larry! I'm here to see Larry!
Trapper, it's your turn. What do you want to
You're
do?
so screwed.
Do I hear Smoother crying out?
You hear the manly screaming.
I would say where you're at, you definitely hear like some screaming. It would be like down the hall, but
Cool.
but you would hear something.
I will go by Larry. First, I will wipe my hands on the back of his back, on his jacket.
Hey, Trapper, you can add a brownie point. That was delightful.
Damn, that's
So
cold.
bonus brownie
Let's
point
go.
for Trapper.
Can I go in?
Are you going to try the door?
Yes.
It does not yield to normal opening.
Shoot it.
Yeah. Everybody back up. Let's shoot it. I back up a little bit of distance to make sure I'm safe. And
Yep.
I'm gonna
Can't
shoot it.
even more than I am right now.
Okay, Larry, are you going to stand next to him?
I'm standing where I'm at. I'm in the next square. He's not gonna. It's not the shattering door is not gonna hurt me.
No, I don't think it is. I mean, I'm not worried about the door. Would you roll your let's see, you've got moves. You've got fire weapon, I think, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
No, I was talking to Dr. Trapper.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got it too.
Yeah, so roll a 6 for me.
Great.
No, I wanted a 6. So please roll 6 more 6-sided die.
Oh, he's got a fire weapon of 7? Nice.
He does.
He does, yes. 31.
Not only do you splinter the door, but you strike what you see behind it
The
is
interrogator.
a sizable apparition.
Cool.
And which is very upsetting to the sizable apparition. Darius, what are you wanting to do? Oh, and you also see Smooter is seated in a chair in that room.
Calmly seated.
Forcibly seated. Darius?
Everybody know what's going on now.
I'm waiting
I am
for...
coming out and using the peak meter. Am I detecting anything as I come down
You are
the hall?
absolutely detecting, and the closer you get to where Trapper and Larry are, the greater the readings, the more intensified the readings become.
All right, I walk in the room and I see this. Do I see this apparition thing? Is it
You
like
do, and as soon as you walk into the room, I need you to roll your cool.
He's very cool.
Yes.
Oh!
That's what I was looking for. Roll your second. Roll your second 6-sided die.
Welcome to my room, Darius Park.
So you got a 4. You scream, and the ghost gets closer to you. Here, I'm gonna just for fun, we're gonna lay this out. So the ghost moves closer to you and yells, "What are you doing here?"
I say, dude, we can be friends.
That does not answer my question.
I give
Let's
him a
make a
wink.
sandwich.
You're attempting to seduce an ectoplasmic being?
He's done it
Of
before.
course, that's what I
Let's
do.
try.
I said, hey, we can watch some of your American football together. I think, like, you know how they like to lean over and they touch the anus of the guy for some reason.
Whoa!
Maybe have a sandwich.
That, please roll another 6. So clear your dice tray and roll your seduce.
Okay.
A 1?
Yeah, 1 was the first one, so 22 total.
A 22 total.
Let me see if is that right? 22?
Yeah, that's fine.
Seven.
I mean, your total
No,
seduce.
I get one more.
Your total seduce, I think, is 8 because isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have a 5
8,
on your
so
moves.
it's 27.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so the ghost is less angry, and you actually see the ghost reduce a little bit in size.
Ooh.
And says to you, all I want is to know why you are here.
We're here to learn about the ancient mysteries and to make friends. You know, you American people like, I should shift my British accent. So, you American,
Why, that was an amazingly accurate British accent.
you American people.
Lower East London, I think.
Have this kind of strange football that I'm always trying to understand a little better. And so what I really, really want to know is like, why do they always like begin every play by touching each other in the butt?
I think you're mocking me.
Actually, I do not. It's like, I wonder this. I've been talking to some other people, and I really don't understand this American football. I mean, you know, we would call it maybe like closer to rugby or some kind of Australian rules football. But, you know, where I come from, like, when we play football, we actually use our feet and not our hands touching people on the butt. But, you know, I understand why some people would like to be touched on their butts. Like, I certainly enjoy it. And, you know, if you enjoy it too, maybe we could see what that's like.
You see the ghost turn to Smooter and say, "Is there someone else I can talk to?"
Well, I have many friends outside, and I think they would like to hear your story. You're not interested in the butt touching?
So Darius, your turn is over, which makes it my turn. And
people outside, do we get a turn?
The interrogator. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, Darius is sixth in line.
Yeah.
So the ghost is going to terrorize and yell, "I am not here to talk about mere sports. I want to know why you are here." And Darius, roll. I think you're going to roll your cool against terrorize.
Yes. He has awesome cool.
I believe I only have 2 cool. Yeah, I only have 2 cool.
Okay.
So I got a 7.
What was your first roll was a 4, right?
Yeah, it was a 4.
3. Okay. So I clearly had more terrorized than cool. And you are going to run from the room.
Wait, I do believe he needs a diaper.
I don't think he had incontinence. That usually occurs with a ghost, unless your name starts with L. So, and now the ghost will turn again to Smooter and say, "What are you doing here?"
We're here looking for Larry. Larry, we're looking for Larry.
Larry, it's your turn.
We're looking for Larry.
Larry, it is your turn.
All right, here we go. Now, I had not turned off my proton pack, so
That's
it's
fine.
ready to go. And,
That's fine.
Hey, big guy. I'm here to chew bubble gum and catch me some ghosts. And I'm all out of bubble gum. Kabooja. And I'm just going to shoot him, and it's going to be awesome in how much damage I do.
Roll the 6, please.
Are you gonna stand in the doorway?
Yeah, I'm going to stand in your line of fire.
Okay, just want to know. I try to get around you.
27.
A 27 with
The first,
a
no
1.
ghost though. No ghost die.
Right. Yeah. No, I got that. So, okay. Well, you certainly came close to singeing Smooter, given the fact that he's directly behind you in the line of fire.
Right here.
I have no problem with that. I have total confidence in my accuracy.
And you clearly knocked the ghost away from Smooter, kind of toward the bed. and he's not really happy. Luthien, what would you like to do?
Walk in. Is the doorway still have some space for me to squeeze in?
Just enough space you could squeeze in. Larry, I'm gonna assume that you will step aside if Luthien comes in.
Yeah, and Larry is not as big as his player.
No, I know, but that's more just for visual.
Okay. Then I'll
So
come
Luthien?
in and shoot the ghost since he's shooting it.
Okay. What are you gonna use? Your proton
I
pack?
have a proton pack, yeah.
Yeah, because Loomis has got the pistol. Okay. Roll your moves.
Moves, not the fire weapon? Oh.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. It's
Fire weapon.
moves, but your fire weapon's your talent, so you get a total of 6, but roll the first one at least.
1. Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem. Now the rest of it.
These ones are just awful.
Yeah. The rest of your fire weapon.
Yeah, I know. So a total of 19.
Terrific. You clearly make contact with the ghost, who is not necessarily happy about this turn of events. Smooter, you're going to notice that you have a more free range of movement, but you still can't get out of the chair. Tori, what would you like to do?
Hearing everything that's going on, the booming, unearthly ghost, I flip on my proton pack, and I leave the room, going directly to where it's all happening, enter between my two pals, and blast that mother between the... Nice.
Nice.
You're talking about the ghost, right? You're talking
I
about
hope
the ghost.
so.
Right?
He should shoot the chair.
Well,
I'm shooting.
Yeah, clearly. So okay, roll your
No.
moves.
Roll my moves. I have 28, like he had 27.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh well. When I get done rolling, I'll have as much as 28.
Well, we'll see.
19. That's almost 20.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'd say those are some nice big rolls. 4, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's you definitely have knocked into the ghost. So, Smooter,
Yeah.
what are
How's
you
it
gonna
going?
do?
Well, he's right in front of me. Let's fire.
You're gonna fire with your
Fire my proton pack.
Fire in the hole. Okay, roll a 6 for me.
Deuce.
Well, yeah, but
How
keep
many more
going.
you want?
You've got fire weapons, so you roll
What
a
was my
total
number?
of 7 d6.
7. Boom. 19 total.
Nice. Okay. The ghost is phased, but not contained. Trapper.
Do I have room to shoot him?
Looks like everyone's away from the door, and you've got a pretty straight on line.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, roll.
Let's see, my first one. The 1. I only got 21. That's all.
That's no. Well, hell, people are hitting them
21's
with
good.
19. All right. The ghost is definitely diminished in size, and and does, just not in great shape. Darius.
Can I come back in, or am I too scared?
No, I mean, you've seen some of the action going on. I would say that you are no longer scared because you've seen, like, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
this ghost has been zapped a number of times since you got scared away. What would you like to do?
I'd like to come in and talk to the ghost.
Terrific.
And say, look, we didn't want to come and bring violence.
Well, then
why
are you here? All I want to know is, what are you here to do?
We're here to find some evil entity from another plane that may enter here.
You've come to lift the curse?
Yes.
Why are you here now after all these years?
We think that the curse will be reinvigorated or replenished today.
The time has come. The time has come. This is a sign.
Are you the
here.
gatekeeper?
Yes, we're
and
here.
The ghost grows to a bigger size and says, "You shall not lift the curse from this place. You
Thanks a lot, Darius.
You are exactly what was foreseen to come, and you will be stopped."
So can I blast him or not?
Please.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I tase him with one hand and I shoot him right in the face with the other. Try to like point right up into like under his chin.
Given what's going on, you get a choice. I mean, a shot is to aim with the shot and work the taser. You can't do both at once. I'm going to let you pick which one you want to do.
I'm going to tase. No, I'm going to shoot him.
You're going to shoot him.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Tori and Lorraine, just for fun, clear your dice tray. Darius, roll your moves.
I got 18.
Okay. Darius gets the shot off, and the ghost once again diminishes in size, and is drifting around the room, seemingly not in control of himself, and I am not able to take a turn. So, Larry.
Open
I
the
step
trap.
forward and fire.
Yes.
I want to catch him in a
Is that the position you're going to fire from? At the edge of the bed?
on top of the bed. How's that?
You're going to get on the bed and fire at him. Okay. Roll
I'm
your
just
move.
moving forward. I'm just moving forward.
Well, you can get up on the bed.
Okay.
I just want to know what's going to happen when you roll a 6.
You trip.
Okay, my first die was a 1 because,
Okay.
of course, 25 total. That's a
you have
really
containment
bad roll.
stream. You have a containment stream on the ghost.
Excellent. Someone can toss a trap.
Luthien.
I do have a trap.
Take one off my belt. I have 2.
Okay. Oh, really? Then I'll take one of the trap from Larry.
Okay.
And open it.
And just open it looking right into it?
No, put it in range.
Okay, so you're going to take a trap off Larry and position it under the ghost that he has a containment stream under.
Yes.
And open it.
Yes.
Okay, roll your moves.
Which is
Just a 6-sided die.
2.
Okay, that's enough. I just wanted to see you didn't roll a ghost. The trap activates, and the ghost is trapped.
Booyah!
Yeah.
We got one.
You got one.
Let's go get some more.
So,
Good
when
work,
the ghost is trapped, Smooter, you have regained complete control of your ability to move.
That's why I called out for Larry.
Sure. Okay. We're good.
You did good work, Larry. Thank you. I'm
Okay.
untrapped.
All right. And you have busted a ghost. You have captured a ghost.
Yeah.
For Smooter, for your
Save my
record,
ass.
for your records, this is it's a class 3 focused full torso apparition.
Class
For
3
billing purposes.
focus.
Class 3. So, Loomis is standing at a corner of the corridor. Are you wanting to go down the corridor? It is. I'm going to start at the beginning of the marching order since everybody kind of went through the thing. So, Larry, you captured the ghost, and Luthien helped trap the ghost. And so, Tori, what do you want to do?
Go to the next room.
Tori, are you there?
Yes.
What would it's your call. What do you want to do next?
Well, in that case, to the next room, Doc.
Okay. Well, we can go down this hallway. With
We should ask Dr. Loomis if he knows the ghost.
if I know did I know that ghost?
Yeah, you recognize him from somewhere?
No, I was not that. I mean, it certainly does. It certainly matches some of the accounts. I have heard patients talk about a ghost that questions intentions. Strangers or visitors to the facility have said they have encountered a ghost that questions their movements and intentions, but this is the first time I had experienced that.
So you
there
have
are.
seen it from the door?
I'm sorry?
You saw the ghost physically, I mean, by where you were standing.
Yes, Dr. Loomis, during the course of things, did move over and see what was happening in the room.
Okay.
I mean,
so from the way the ghost dressed, can you assume is a former staff or someone else?
I think that ghost, while it looked to have human form and clothing, it was not a it didn't I didn't recognize that as somebody who might have died on the premises or was formerly on staff. I mean, the clothing, I think, to all of you was indeterminate in as far as like a time frame.
So it must be from really, really long ago.
Somebody distinguished by fashions of the 60s or something like that. I mean, it was just a ghost. So in the corridor where Tori's at, Tori, you are standing. Tori, you are standing next to a closed door. There is on the on your left-hand side, which would be the east wall, there is a second door down on the east wall, and there is a door at the end of the corridor.
Right. Okay, Doc, what's usually behind this door?
What's usually behind that door? Well, I'll be honest with you that I don't come into the basement much. I mean, this really is the realm of Dr. Renwick. He does his physiological examinations in the basement. I'm merely a psychiatrist, so I don't take part in his research and his studies down here.
Okay, no psychiatrist says I'm merely a psychiatrist.
Yeah, they're still a doctor.
Okay.
I am a psychiatrist. I am not a medical, or I mean,
No, psychiatrist is a
He's a
medical
medical
doctor.
doctor.
It
this
is a medical
Dr.
doctor.
Renwick's area. This is not my area. I don't come to the basement. I
Yeah.
don't know what's behind the doors.
Want to try the door.
You want to try the door?
Want to try the door.
Okay. You can try the door.
Is it open?
Oddly enough, it does.
Well, fling it open.
Fling it open. Well, the door opens smoothly and quietly on well-oiled hinges. The room is dominated by a work area. There is enough space for one or maybe two people in there to tinker and fiddle with experiments. Are you wanting to go in and investigate?
Absolutely.
Turn the
Alright.
meter on.
I don't have a meter, but I got goggles.
Okay. So you can see in a dimly lit room with the goggles that the shelves and cubbies underneath the shelves are neatly organized with everything within easy reach. There is a mechanical precision to the layout, and it is stocked with all manner of esoteric and potentially hard to find materials. Are you? Do you want to examine some of the materials?
So far, no
Is he
sign of
knowledgeable enough to know what they are?
He's a bright guy.
Well, I mean, you can roll a brain check and see if
I
you
could.
might be able to recognize anything.
no glowy things on my.
No, you're not. You don't detect anything on your peak meter or on your ecto goggles. I mean,
Do it. See if anything interesting pops up.
okay. Roll brains.
There's the first part.
Yep.
That's all of it.
13. Okay. Well, so you're smart enough not to taste anything.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Yes. You notice that hang on just a second. There really isn't anything of value here, but there are definitely herbs and it looks like people have mixed up more potions. It's not really anything. It's not like a medical lab. It's more like like a shaman or an herbalist or a physician.
New age shops.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, more like a naturalist, or I mean, I'm losing the word. I mean, a person who, instead of using pharmaceuticals, is going to use St. James wort.
An apothecary.
Yeah. Naturalist, maybe, but yes, an apothecary. That's a good way to. So, and there's nothing else really of interest in the room.
What about on that south wall? Right there. Is it just the wall?
It is just a wall. So, Smooter, what do you want to do?
Let's go a little bit
In the
further down the
chair.
hall. What's down that way? Yeah, I'm out of the
You want to
chair.
go to the door at the end of the hall, or the door right where you're standing and facing?
Where I'm standing.
Okay. Do you want to try the knob?
I will try the knob.
Oh, he's real good
All
at trying
right.
knobs. He's all over that
The
knob.
door, that door opens easily as well.
Let's go inside. Look
and-
around.
Barrels, crates, and supplies.
Ooh, what's in the barrels?
Looks like you can find linens. The type of cleaning materials. It's just the kind of stuff that you would find, that pertains to the operations of the facility, as far as keeping it clean, extra linens,
Laundry
extra.
It's
room?
unusual to see.
I'm sorry, what?
Is it laundry room?
Well, there's not laundry machines, but there is laundry. Sheets would be stored here.
Okay.
It's more like a storage room, eh?
It is definitely a
Listen.
storage.
Storage.
Anything that looks like it'd be used as a weapon?
Are you going to search it?
Yeah.
Okay, roll your brains, I guess. I think that'd be what would apply in a search.
Or what are my brains total?
3.
3.
Yeah.
There we go. 9 total.
Cool. You don't find anything.
Okay. Where's the shot?
So, Dr. Trapper, you're at the door at the end of the hall.
I will open it up.
You will open it up. You open it up. Are you going to look in?
I'm gonna go right in.
You're going to go right in. Okay. So you go right in, and you see 2 clean cots on your left, a cluttered desk in the far corner, and curtains that are not quite pulled all the way to the wall, on that kind of function as a privacy screen to your left.
Okay, let me see what's behind the curtains.
Are you going to draw the curtains back with your bare hands?
Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
Delightful. So, beyond the curtains, you can see. Hang on just a second. Let me double check. Yes, you can see that there is a area for treatment. It looks like there's a desk. You can see a table that has some various stuff on it, and you can see that there is you can see beyond it into a larger room that is not separated by like a desk with notes, and beyond it is a larger room that is not walled off. I mean, you can see it's just kind of a partition, and but you can't see it really without going into it.
Okay, before I go there, I just want to search room G, see if there's anything value in this room.
You don't see anything necessarily of value, but you do see some documents that are on the desk there.
Okay, can I read them?
And the documents pertain to what look like definitely some unusual medical experimentation. There is a reference made to something that looks is definitely Latin. There is the cerebri mimos. And there is documents that reference like file folders. There's that the juxta personalis, and there is a folder that is with them that reads psychokinetic biological inhabitation.
Okay, I will. The Latin stuff I would keep to show to Darius so he could read them.
Okay.
And
well, the documents aren't in Latin. You can read the documents, but the file folder, like the tab on the folders.
Yeah.
That's where it just says cerebri mimos and juxta personalis, and then the third tab or the third file is the one that says psychokinetic biological inhabitation.
Okay. So the best is just go ahead and. So the documents in Latin, the only thing that is not is the headings.
The only thing that is Latin are the headings on the tabs. If you open up the folders to look, the documents are in English. I mean, they're definitely. I mean, you'd have to roll your brains to try to figure them out, but it's they're medical. It's like a medical term, like a Latin medical term.
Okay, I just gonna leave them there and go into the next room.
Okay, I'm actually going to.
And my turn. Okay.
I'm just gonna let Darius catch up. Darius, what do you want? I mean, is there a room you want to go in? Either.
I just want to follow where these guys are going with the peak meter and see if there's any kind of, walking the path that everyone has taken so far, and see if there are any higher readings.
That's exactly what I want you to do. You're going to go into room E where Tori is with the peak meter and get no increased readings beyond the ambient readings you got in the basement. You're going to go into room F where Smooter is and take readings, and you're going to see no fluctuations. As you enter room G, you notice that things are starting to fluctuate a little bit more. The readings are becoming more pronounced.
Here, that's when he calls the rest of us in.
And then how about when I'm with Trapper in?
That's yes. When you're with Trapper, you're starting to not on him, but this area is starting to pick up some readings. So do you want to notify the rest of the team?
Yeah. I'll tell everyone to come up, and I want to look at the documents that Trapper showed me from G, and also the documents on the desk here in the room that we're in now. And do we see like Renwick's signatures or anything on any of the documents?
You don't really see signatures so much as what looks like diagrams. Okay, I mean, you see that like this. These are they're handwritten notes, and with some drawn, almost like the kind of stuff that you would see in an old Gray's Anatomy book. It's not you don't see any real photographs. You just see what look like technical drawings of things. Hang on just a second. Is
there any indication of the author of these documents?
No, there's nothing that. Oh, yes, actually there is. You can see in several places, like when things aren't necessarily explained, but as you page through, you're going to see patient experiments or patient documents that do not have the names of patients. They're like, patient A, patient B, patient C, so there's no privacy issues. Almost like that there is, that these are just, he's gathering data for a test. And in certain places, you see notations with the initials, and the initials are OR, MD.
And I asked Loomis, what's Renwick's first name?
You asking Dr. Loomis?
Loomis.
Yeah. Dr. Well, here, let me let's move Loomis up. If you're inviting him into the room, is everyone in the room now?
I am.
Am I in the room?
Yeah, well, you guys. Yeah, if you got, I mean, Darius called you all up, and you can all be in the room if you want to. He says, "Well, yeah, this is clearly Dr. Renwick's handwriting. His name is Orson Renwick."
And I want to look at the psychokinetic folder and just see what's in there, and so to see that Renwick is actually doing some kind of like psychokinetic research.
So the psychokinetic biological inhabitation folder is the one you're picking up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Renwick is trying to like bring in spirits and possess people with them or something.
Roll your brains.
Three. 21.
Okay. What you see in these folders is not that Loomis is, or not Loomis, not that Renwick is doing experiments.
He got a ghost die.
No, I did. It was actually a 3 was the first one, and then when I rolled the third die, it hit the first die.
It turned it into a ghost die. It's the final total is what counts. Die.
Well, okay, yeah. So what was your first, when you rolled the die first? It was a 3.
Yeah, it was a 3, and then I added 3 more dies, and then
right. So your total roll is 18, not 21.
No, it's
which is fine.
You can knock a dice. If you knock the dice, you get the final total.
You can, but I did see that the first die he rolled was a 3. If he knocked it to a ghost, then it would diminish his roll. Is that what I mean? To an 18, correct? Or a 15? So he's
trying to point out that his first one became a 6.
But that doesn't count. If he had rolled a 6, it would be a 6. If a die sitting in a tray gets knocked to a 6, that doesn't count.
Okay. Well, I counted.
We roll
you run the game, you can do it that way, but to me it doesn't feel fair.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is that fair? If you want to do it your way, that's cool, but I don't think that a die knocking into a ghost feels fair. That's why I have you guys roll the 1 so we all see it. Is that fair?
Yeah, because we always have like a pause after the first roll.
We always have a pause after the first roll. So your total roll is 18, which lets you discern that Dr. Renwick is not attempting to work a scientifically aided possession of a person. What he is doing is research to see whether there is scientific proof on his own of paranormal possession of patients.
Okay. And so flipping to the end.
So based on what you're able to read, he's not working in the adverse. He's not working against the care of patients. He's not subverting them and trying to get them possessed by creatures. He is trying to understand whether possession is a real thing.
Is it?
His research, from what, are you going to sit and read the documents?
No, I'm going to ask Darius. He's reading the documents.
I'm just kind of skimming through them to try to see if he's concluding that possession is real or not real.
He has reached no conclusion yet.
Okay. But he's not as skeptical as he first appeared when we met him in the office.
I don't know that he was skeptical when he first appeared in the office. He was skeptical of you guys. He is skeptical. I would say that Dr. Renwick is skeptical of your equipment, of your procedures, of your preponderance to talk about touching butts.
He didn't hear me talking about touching butts.
He's not skeptical of paranormal science. He's just trying to figure it out for himself, which you can see from, and he doesn't have access to the level of technology that Egon and Ghostbusters headquarters has. So he's trying to figure stuff out for himself, which is what the other two files are.
Okay.
The other two files, if you want to read those, the Latin named files, one of them is, hang on just a second. If you want to turn on Messenger, hang on just a moment. I will drop in a photo if I can. It's not letting me search. I think I might just have too many windows open or something.
Many windows, reaching practices.
I'm going to tell the other people that the peak meter is showing stronger readings heading from that direction ahead of me.
Yes, and that's...
And so I'm going to let them move ahead while I read more of these documents.
Yeah, you continue to read the documents. Hang on.
And just say that the peak meter is showing indications that are strongest from, whichever direction.
The peak meter is... Hang on, I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Okay, so I'm dropping into the chat, or the who you gonna call chat, a sketch that is in the file that is the Cerebri Mimos.
So he's digging needles
and then
nails.
I'm sorry? Bless you. And then the other item of interest, if you want to look, is the in the file that's called Juxta Personalis. I will drop that in as well. Hang on just a second. Oop. I need to rig up my iPad to be a second screen. It would go a lot faster. So that's the other device that you can see sketched out in the other file.
So you won't talk, eh?
So, so yes. So that's, do you want to continue? So that's the information that you have, is this idea of this juxta personalis, which you figure out seems to be this like kind of helmet, leathery helmet, that connects with a wire to a box with a couple of knobs on it that you think might be a way to alter personality. And then
I'm just gonna
Cerebri Nemo
look through the desks and stuff and see if I find any of this equipment while other people continue to search the rest of the room.
No, not in that office, no. So, Larry.
Okay, Larry would very much like to go into this darkness. Is there a door here? There's a
There
big
is not
thing.
a door. There's not a door there. There's a partial wall. And that you can walk around.
Well, I would like to walk around the partial wall.
You wanting to walk around the partial wall?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
So in this area, you see a full-blown laboratory. The operating theater has a tiled floor with drains placed discreetly and strategically throughout the room. There are tables with leather 5-point restraints and canals to channel leakage that are bolted to the floor. Every surface in that room is immaculate, and the cool air smells faintly of ammonia and other cleaning, like solvents or materials or whatever. You notice on the table nearby, there's a lot of equipment that looks, clearly surgical in nature, and you see on the nearby table what appears to be the apparatus that is described as the juxtus whatever it was. Sorry, I lost the Latin.
Yeah, personalis or something. The parallel.
Yes, that's it.
Personality thing.
Juxtus personalis. That the leathery helmet and control box is visible on the table.
Okay, I just walk into the room, see if anybody jumps up and says boo.
No, the room is empty.
Okay. Someone with a meter should check it out.
There's a door on the wall to the west, if you were to keep walking toward the wall there's a door.
Yeah, do that. I can't
Well,
see
you
the
can
door.
do that, but you don't have. It's not your turn now. It's Luthien's turn.
Okay. Luthien, good morning. Knock, knock. Lo Yilan. She can't hear.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's your turn.
Okay.
You were going to walk into the black area. Just walk into the black area.
Oh. So what are we doing now? Walk into the other room?
Yeah, walk into this black area.
Yeah, you can walk all the way down to Larry. Do you want to go in that door?
Yes, she does. Say yes.
Oh, I thought you walk in first. You have the meter, right?
I don't have a meter. You do. And he won't let me go in because it's your turn.
Okay.
He's
It's
a very
cut meter.
mean man.
I'm looking at my cut meter.
You're looking at your CUD meter and you are seeing no discernible readings from the CUD meter.
How about the goggle?
You don't see anything with the goggles.
Okay, then we'll open the door then.
All right. So you open the door.
That's a scary sound.
It was a scary sound. That was very strange. So, there is an unmistakable but unidentifiable smell permeating the room. There is a pristine white sheet that is covering a shape in the southwest corner of the room, and there's a basin. It says there's stuff in that corner, but that's for the original module, and it's not there. So it is definitely a human shape underneath.
There's a dead body.
That is in the room.
Pull the sheet off, somebody.
Why don't you do it?
Because it's not my turn.
You have enough space in your turn if you would like to go investigate the table or remove the sheet.
Remove the sheet.
Okay, we move the sheet.
Okay, so you remove the sheet, and underneath the sheet is a young woman, and the young woman is in a gown, a patient's gown in the hospital, a Johnny or whatever they call them. She is calm, she is breathing, and she turns to look at you and says, I don't know what's happened. And as you look more closely at her, you can see that protruding from the top of her head is a metal kind of, it's an object that has been, affixed to her skull that very closely resembles the device that you saw in the file.
Yeah.
The Cerebrus
memos.
I'm going to let Tori take his turn.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm wearing my goggles. Can I sense anything? I mean, we know we had the peak meter. There was elevated stuff in this room. Does my goggles say anything?
But the only person with a peak meter is Darius, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That Trapper's drone can do the same thing, though.
Trapper's drone can do the same thing.
But he's got to tell it to him.
But you see nothing with the ecto goggles, Tori.
Okay. We know there might be something going on because he thought there might be. I guess I'll wander close to Spear and Head Chick and ask her what her name is.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know. Smooter?
Ask the doctor.
You guys, I mean, it's Smooter or do you want to head toward that area too?
Yeah. I'll move down.
Yeah, Loomis is gonna go down there. and he will say, "This is a patient of Dr. Renwick's." So, and I don't interfere in Dr. Renwick's treatment regimens. So
He keeps saying that, but he's done some weird things. He's poking holes in people's heads here.
I am not involved in Dr. Renwick's treatment. I'm not comfortable being a part of this, and Loomis is going to move back into the office. Trapper, what do you want to do?
There's no ghost?
Well,
so far,
nobody's been in there with a peak meter.
Well, I think Dr. Loomis should tend to the patient. Is she one of the patients?
Dr. Loomis has removed himself from that room.
Why? She should, tell us who the patient is.
He said it was a patient of Dr. Renwick's, and he was uncomfortable being part of what was happening in that room. He removed himself.
Yeah.
Trapper, what do you want to do?
Did anybody search the room H?
That's where they found the helmet that's attached to the box, and some other surgical devices.
I have no idea.
I mean, you don't want to use your drone?
I guess I could use the drone to see if the PKE meter says anything.
Yeah.
On it.
Okay. So are you gonna carry the drone in, or are you gonna fly it in?
Let's go ahead and just fly it in.
Okay. So roll. I mean, since this is kind of tight quarters, roll your moves.
Okay, got 2 on the first one. This is my move 4. At 20.
Oh, that's great. Okay,
Nice.
You navigate the drone. You navigate the drone into the room, and you can tell from your controls that the peak meter is going off the scale as when you get close to the patient on the table.
Is it the patient that is the ghost?
She's possessed.
Well, the patient isn't. I mean, she is material. She is a patient. She's a human being with a very high peak rate.
Then we need to use what's that one thing? The proto thing?
The CUD meter?
Analysis?
No,
he's the polarity rectification tripods.
Well, those are in the car. Do you want to go get them?
Nobody brought that?
Nobody brought them.
Oh, the slime blower, right?
I got flares.
There's
some flares.
There are 3 slime blowers in the car.
Did anybody bring one?
Nope.
No.
Okay. I guess I go get one.
Okay.
Run.
So are you going to what are you going to do with equipment that you have on your possession now? Are you going to carry everything back to the car?
I will tell the guys what they're doing. I will carry the equipment back. I will leave the drone and bring in the slime blower.
Okay. What is everyone else going to do while he takes the time to do this? Are you going to? Is anyone going to go with him? Is anybody going to? Because this will take him a few minutes. I mean, if everyone wants to stay put, you can stay put. I just want to know what you want to do.
We're going to read the files.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I want to go.
push her and make the ghost come out.
Where are you going to push her?
Darius to seduce her and make
She
the ghost come
can
out.
talk. Excuse me, miss.
That's a good idea.
What's your name? And I'm going to pop her with my finger right on the forehead. What's your name?
I don't know.
Oh,
That hurts. Don't touch me.
Well, I don't mean to touch you, and I'll touch her again.
Roll your cool.
My cool is very cool, you know.
Roll a 6.
No 6. An 11. First roll was a 3.
Okay. The patient is starting to cry.
I
That
will
hurts.
mesmerize her.
Okay.
I will use my mesmerism
All
and
right. So clear
get
your dice
her.
tray and roll again.
Okay, this is gonna be awesome.
Everybody, I mean, you guys want to clear your dice trays, you can.
Okay, my first die was a 2, total
Okay.
16.
Okay. So you are attempting to mesmerize
No.
a...
I am mesmerizing. I am not attempting to. I am doing it.
That would be terrific.
sad.
She is crying. She is in pain. She is not cooperative.
Well, she's not
Darius.
very...
Darius mesmerizer.
Maybe you should like her.
Can people be hypnotized against their will?
Depends on what their will is.
Well, her will's
Okay,
strong enough.
mesmerism. See, it's not hypnosis, it's mesmerism.
Okay, so tell me the difference.
Victorian writers will say their will has nothing to do with it. It's all about my will overtaking theirs. Because Victorian writers, like
Sure.
Edgar Allan
All right.
Poe,
Well, no, that's
don't understand
fair.
reality.
Okay. So you are mesmerizing her while she is continuing to cry
Yes.
from pain and disorientation.
Yes.
So what happens now?
Calm down.
All right, she starts to calm.
Open the door and let me talk to the creature within.
She is breathing calmly and not responding.
Okay. Ghostly creatures in this room, reveal yourself. Leave this girl. Smooter's pretty cool. Why don't you go over there?
Okay, everyone. Okay, so who's in? So Luthion's in the room. Larry's in the room. Smooter's in the room. Tori and Darius are over in age, and Dr. Trapper has not come back yet.
Right.
Luthian and Larry and Smooter all roll your pool.
One.
One plus.
Okay, I'm sorry. The final one is not my cool. I have a total of 10.
Right.
What's my cool too?
I got 16.
Your total die roll for cool is 2. That's correct.
Okay, I got 4 total. 1 and a 3.
Okay. So rising from the patient is
Way to go, Larry.
hang on just a second.
Hang on just long enough to put the new ghosty in for us.
Yes. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
It's the small one.
It is the small one.
The small, weak one.
I didn't say that.
That's what you thought. We're just being helpful.
You know, in your advanced age, you need all the help you can get.
So it is. I know which one it is. Hang on. It's Hee Hee.
Hee Hee.
Oh, way over there. That's no problem.
It's yes. So Hee Hee rises from the patient.
Why is he in the wrong corner then? There it is.
It should be there.
Okay.
Calm down.
And she and she goes completely limp, and you have successfully mesmerized the ghost out of the patient, and now everyone gets to Lorraine clear your dice tray. Everyone gets to roll their brains.
Everyone in the room or everyone?
Of the three in the room.
I'm in the room, right?
Smooter, Larry, and Luthien.
Yes.
Okay, 16.
So a total of 16 and a total of 10 and a total of 12 with no ghosts, correct?
No ghosts.
Okay. So hang on just a second. That's not fun at all. Okay.
It looks good to me.
Yeah, that's no good. Okay, well then my turn is over.
Boom, boom.
And Trapper, you're back.
Okay.
And so Tori and Darius and Trapper.
Yes.
What are you choosing to stay stationary, or do you want to go into the room I?
Hearing the commotion and knowing there's something going on, down back at the ready, I walk into the room ready to blast whatever ghost I see. Oh, look, there's one.
Me too.
There is a ghost. Are you wanting to blast it?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Come here.
Roll.
Blast,
your,
blast.
Yeah, everybody clear their dice trays. So Tori, you can roll your fire weapon or your moves. You don't have a fire weapon.
Moves.
Fire weapon. Okay.
He just rolls his moves. That's his fire weapon.
There's one, and it's not a 6, so...
Good.
Things got to stop hitting each other. There you go.
So terrific. Okay, you strike the ghost.
Yeah.
Ross, Mooter,
Yes.
it's your turn.
Let's hit the ghost.
Okay.
Proton pack.
Roll
Ready to
your
go.
fire weapon.
Fire away. 4.
4 total?
And I got... No, 4's the first one. Total moves is 4 with fire weapon of 7. I have 7 of these?
Yes.
Yeah.
27.
Terrific. So, okay. Good to know. Dr. Trapper, you're there. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot him.
With your slime blower?
No, with my backpack.
Okay, so you dropped your drone
Yeah.
and went to the car and carried in a slime blower, but your proton pack is still on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and shoot. Roll your moves.
I shoot a 6.
You rolled a 6?
Yes.
Delightful. So clear that tray.
Smooter.
And then roll the rest of your fire weapon.
I think I get out here.
Okay, 24.
So I'm not showing you cleared your tray. So, I mean, so it's 24 minus 6, so it's 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. You struck the ghost pretty easily. You also struck the patient on the table.
Oh, cool.
Well, not for her.
Yeah.
For her
So,
than me.
Darius.
It's better than hitting Smooter.
I was aiming for him.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yes, it is better than hitting Smooter. Darius, what would you like to do?
Did you trap the ghost?
Okay, Michael, you're muted. You're muted.
Muted.
I'm using my cell phone and recording what's going on and narrating this, and I'm saying things like, apparently Orson Renwick has been studying possession of humans by using the Cerebus mimos. What we have been able to do as Ghostbusters is to draw the ghost out of the patient that he has implanted with the Cerebus mimos. And so now we are in battle with the ghost, and unfortunately, we've hit the patient, and I'm going to go in and save her now. So I'm going to go and try to pull the wounded patient with the Cerebus mimos attached to her head away from this battle where the ghost is.
Oh. Okay.
He will lure her with a sandwich.
Yes. All right, so roll your moves. Actually, I don't think it's moves. I think it's muscle.
To pull her.
Roll
Yeah.
roll your muscles.
Yeah.
I got a 10, I believe.
Yeah, a 3, a 6, and a 1. All right, I am going to say that you have pulled the patient. Hang on just a second. So I need this figure here. You have pulled the patient away from the table, and she's
a big girl.
She is a big girl. But my
girl.
There we go.
Can I pull her back the way I came from, back to H, instead of?
You can't, because there's so many people there. That's a pretty small room. You can't. I mean, if somebody wanted to help you, but the unfortunate part is that it's my turn. So I want everyone to roll everyone clear their dice tray and roll your brains.
I thought we did that once already.
You did,
He's
but
doing it again.
That was the last time it was my turn. Now it's my turn again.
He was disappointed that he didn't get you.
Oh,
Ah.
was.
So I didn't
I got
find
6
this one.
again.
Well, that's okay. So I mean, so did anyone? Let's see. Tori rolled and did not get a 6. Larry rolled and did not get a 6. Darius rolled, did not get a 6.
Luthien.
Trapper, did
Yes,
you
I
roll a 6?
Yes, I did.
Okay, okay. So Lorraine and Scott, you guys both clear your dice trays. Well, I guess you don't need to, but Luthien, did you re-roll? You cleared and then re-rolled after the 6?
Yeah, because
Okay,
I
perfect.
have 5. My brain is 5, so
Yep,
I rolled
I
4 times.
understand what you did. And Trapper, I want you to do the same thing. Roll clear your 6 and roll the rest of your brain.
At 12.
A 12? Okay.
Yeah.
So I will roll mine. This sucks.
No, it doesn't. It seems pretty good to me.
So, okay. Okay, so the ghost remains where he is. No one has been possessed by the ghost, but Trapper and Luthien, because you guys focused so much of your mental energy to prevent yourself from being possessed, you're going to miss this turn.
Okay.
Larry, it's your turn.
I'm going to blast Hee with a containing.
It's like a really mean thing to do.
Yeah,
you guys
I'm
can
good
both
with that.
clear your,
I'm good with
You guys
that.
can both clear your.
Okay, my first die is a 3. Total's 36.
36.
Well,
Shit. Okay. You have he in a containment stream.
And I will, in a manly fashion, hold him there. Somebody take a trap. I've got an extra trap.
I got a trap.
Okay, do it.
Tori will trap it.
Okay. Clear your dice tray and roll your moves.
Yeah. Clear. Oh, the first one is a 2. And the next ones are that much. Oh.
Okay. You have the trap positioned under poor Hee, and you activate the trap, and you successfully trap the ghost.
Boom shaga laga laga, boom shaga laga laga.
Excellent.
So, Paul, that was a class 2.
Yay.
And the ghost is trapped. So, Larry, you've got one full trap on your belt, correct?
Yes, I have a full trap and an empty trap.
Now, Tori has one full trap on his belt, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Okay, so that is, you've seen every room in the basement. Doing a time check. What's everybody feeling?
We're gonna need to stop. We need to prep to leave.
Yep, that's what you told me, that you had stuff to do, and I know Scott's not feeling well, so.
Okay, that was Ghostbusters Really, Really International with your Ghost Master, ooh, spooky, Kevin Dilmore. thank you for making it this far. Please be sure to click on likey, click subscribe, and share. Also, feel free to make comments. Tell us what you think. If you think good things, think those and comment. If you think horrible, terrible, personally atrocious things, keep it to your face. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Tell us wonderful things, or like, subscribe, share. And I hope we see you next time. Live, trance, and prosper. Bye-bye.